I
You
mean,
guys, you guys are wrong. The Saints definitely overachieved this game because the AFC East winners, predicted winners, Patriots, are no slouch. Real, in all honesty, can I get another pick?
No.
Um,
I ain't in the mood, yeah. I ain't hit the groove, yeah. I ain't hit the mood.
What is up, everybody? It is
a
a Win is a Win podcast. We have our third member back, Samecookie. So we are sort of excited for that. Maybe not really. No, just kidding. No, we are excited for Sam to be back. We have a good lineup of stuff today. We have a lot to get through, so that's why this intro is going to be a little shorter because we have a lot of content. But is there anything people want to say before we get into the meat of this episode?
Yeah. So one thing I'll say, we're not gonna reveal it now, but the little game that Matt and I had, it reached a conclusion this week, and Charles and I developed a master plan on what Matt has to do as a punishment. I think we agreed that we're gonna reveal it at the end of the podcast today, but we got something exciting, so stay tuned for that.
yeah, I just have a couple things. One, I'm repping the home state. Oops, wrong side, Missouri. And this blue matches my water bottle. So you can't even tell if I'm going to
Very
be
nice.
drinking water because look at that
Very
blend.
nice.
All right. Also, I saved this for when Sam was back. I didn't tell you this, Matt, when it was just you and I, but we had another Mario Party game this past weekend with Eric.
Oh, oh yeah, you
And
have to wait for me to come back for
if you
that.
remember last time, Matt,
Yeah.
I won and it was my third one in a row. Well, I'm happy to say that I continued the win streak and I'm at 4 in a row now.
So
Dang.
lucky.
So
He's so lucky.
yeah, it feels good to be this dominant over Sam in something because Sam's been on a massive L streak now. So that feels good.
I know. I don't know what's up with it. Whenever Charles and I and a couple other friends would play like super often in high school, I would end up winning or getting second place often. So this is new for me.
All right, we're ready. I just
You
wanted to
just
brag a
want to
little bit.
okay, you just want to pop off a little bit on me. I
Yeah.
see you. That's all
Well,
right. We'll just wait till next game.
I guess I do have some news, and we'll get into it because this leads into our next topic. But let's just say somebody dropped a 177 burger on a buddy in this podcast. That would be myself. Dropped 177 on Charles. To be fair, though, Charles did drop 165. So, I mean, it
I
was.
feel oh man, poor Charles.
But the major L in this group was Sam. He dropped 150. So, he actually was the loser out of all of us. So, in all honesty, Sam is still a loser. Even though he did win, but
I think that's cap.
still a loser. Still a loser. But anyways, talking about losers and maybe some winners, we're going into our underachievers or overachievers, but with a twist. We're gonna go through every game this week that happened Thursday through Monday night, and we're gonna pick a team that was either an underachiever or overachiever, and we're pretty excited for this. And yeah, I'm hopefully it's not too long, but it'll be good. So we'll start with the Thursday night game. I think Charles, I think you might be the one that has to read because you, I think, maybe have the schedule pulled up, so you maybe read it through.
Okay.
But I do know
Yeah.
the first game was
Yes.
Thursday night, Bears versus the freaking Commanders, and the Bears won 40-20. So
Yes.
I'll open up to the floor first, and maybe we can rotate after. I won't go first,
Yeah.
but tell us what you think.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go first. And if you're a little confused about this, once we get into it, I think it'll make sense what we're doing here. And yeah, we're gonna rotate between each game who goes first, and then the others will chime in if they agree or disagree. Now, Thursday night football, Bears Commanders. I'm gonna go with the Commanders as underachievers, which might be a shock because our good friend Martin summed it up well in the group chat. Low key, I don't know how the Commanders let Justin Fields throw a party on him like that when he was staring down receivers, missing honestly a couple of picks probably. Then they just kind of let DJ Moore. Like when you watch the game, I felt like they really let down in terms of they could have easily, I think, gotten some picks, and I don't think Justin Fields played as good as he looked. And so I think it's just disappointing for them to lose like this. So I'm gonna go Commanders as underachievers because I really thought it should have been a different game. The DBs specifically, if I'm gonna say. So yeah, that's mine.
Oh, definitely. Commanders is underachievers. I agree with that. I would say the Bears are overachievers, but I completely agree with what Charles is saying. What added to the humility with the Commanders is that Sam Howell still played pretty decently despite his stats, and they got walloped against a home crowd too on their own home turf at FedEx Field, which sucked for the fans a lot. They've been waiting years for Dan Snyder to finally leave. He left, and then the Commanders kind of crapped the bed. They played awfully, and they gave the Bears a win for the first time this year. They've got a win under their belt now. So I'm not too sure if that'll keep up with them, but I mean, I agree that the Commanders are underachievers for giving them the first dub.
I would also have to agree. Commanders were underachievers. They looked good, almost beat the Eagles the week before, and then you let the Bears basically just have a little. It looked like basically a recess game, and you could tell one team was just terrible, and that's what the Commanders were. So for me, it was the Commanders were underachievers for sure.
All right, we're gonna jump to the London game, which, by the way, the Jags got to play their second straight game there. I don't really know how that's fair. That's another topic. Anyways, Jags Bills. Let's jump to Sam. Who you got for that game?
Oh yeah, Charles is a little angry at that game for sure. I'm trying to pull up the stat line on that game if I can find it.
Might have to go to Matt if you're taking too
Sure,
long.
curveball at me, yeah.
I mean, I already have my underachiever.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead if you want, Matt.
Underachiever, I think, was the Bills. You had the Jags, who their offense couldn't move against anyone. I believe it was the Chiefs. The week before that was the Titans, I believe. I think they said that Lawrence hadn't thrown a touchdown in like 6 quarters or something. And not saying the Jags are a bad team, but the Bills had just walloped the Dolphins, who we all thought was, like they could be the best team. And granted, we'll get to them later, but the Dolphins did play really well again this week. But you go from that performance to this one. Granted, do I think the travel might have affected that? Possibly. However, you still got to go play the game. And on paper, I would pick the Bills over the Jags, in which I did actually for Sam and I's bet. So for me, underachiever was definitely the Bills for sure.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Jags as overachievers because they protected their home turf. Anyways,
that was
Sorry.
Okay. Anyways, no, I'm gonna go with the Jags because it's tempting to pick the Bills as underachievers, as Matt said, but I do think obviously that stuff played a factor, and it's actually I feel like the Bills were kind of making excuses about it. And I know they weren't happy about the quality of the turf, so that for those reasons I wanted to pick them. But I think the Jags, after that, they lost to the Chiefs, and then they had lost to the Texans, and the Texans beat them pretty good. They've responded well. Maybe, like I said, they just need to go overseas, get a little refresh because they won their last 2 there, and they looked good against the Bills. I thought that the defense looked better, and they were able to move the ball pretty well. Trevor Lawrence had a nice game. ETN was really good. So give me the Jags as overachievers. I just don't think the Bills were maybe as focused as they should have been. So
I would agree. They played really, really well, I think, too. Sorry, my focus is off a little bit because a huge spider just crawled up my wall, like right in my view direction.
Are you gonna go kill it?
Yeah, I'm gonna kill it really quick. Sorry.
Okay, well, we will continue as Sam has a little incident. Okay, so he said, did he say Jags is overs? I don't even know what he said. Okay. Next game, Texans Falcons. I'll go first. I'm gonna say this one's tough, I would say. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go with the Texans as overachievers because I think that CJ Stroud is still, for a rookie, is playing really, really well. And I know Atlanta has got a team, and I think this was obviously a good win for them to get, but leading a drive down to take the lead like the Texans did, and I think they showed some resilience. I'm gonna say overachievers for the Texans.
I will also say Texans as well. I don't think people thought they'd be this competitive. I think they're 2-3 now, I think.
They are, yeah.
But I don't think people thought they'd be this competitive already, but it kind of makes them like their trade with Arizona, I believe is what it was, right? It was with Arizona. It makes that trade on the draft look a little better, like, hey, there's something there. Like they definitely could have beat the Falcons. And I believe, was it the Colts that they almost beat, or did they beat the Colts?
I think they almost did. I don't know off the top of my head.
Because I mean, honestly, I could see the Texans being 4-1 right now. Like honestly, like they probably should have beat the Falcons, and then
yeah, it would have been the Colts. They lost 31-20. So
yeah, they were close to the Colts. So I mean, they could have been 4-1. So to me, it was also Houston as overachievers.
Yeah, I think just that final drive really showed grit. Is Sam good also?
I'm all right.
What do
I'm cleaning up my workspace real quick before I get back on.
You want to give a quick thought on Texans Falcons, or are you too distracted?
I'm a little disappointed that CJ Stroud. I mean, he did good, but he didn't win, so I'm kind of sad about that. But I'm
So
back.
who's the achiever then?
Oh, the overachiever is me for sure. I feel a little bad because there's like a stain. There's a stain on my wall. I'll have to clean up now, but at least I killed the spider. So
Sam is the overachiever of the week for doing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Win is a win. Let's go.
Okay. Now we're gonna. All right. Sam is back. We're gonna get back on the train. Get back on the train tracks.
Ooh.
All right.
Yes.
We're gonna go now to Lions Panthers. Sam, who is your achiever?
Yeah. So, oh gosh. I hope it's not too cliche to say the Panthers are underachievers because they're one of, I believe, the last two teams in the league to be 0-5.
I think they're
the only team. Dang.
Yeah.
I know there's a few teams that were 0-4, but I guess they all got a win this week. But Bryce Young has been terrible to be a number 1 overall pick. I'm sorry for being a little harsh, but when you have a guy that gets picked right after you in CJ Stroud, that's turned out to be one of the best starting rookie QBs that we've seen in a little while, it's pretty tough to face that, especially when you're the pick before him. And Bryce Young has not led his team to a single win this season. I know he has a god-awful team around him. He does have Adam Thielen, though. Credit to you, Charles. Adam Thielen has actually balled out. I did not think he would do it, but he's done really good this season. And
credit to both of us because I drafted him in our dynasty league. Actually,
that's because of me. I suggested it.
Oh,
you did suggest it, but I also was thinking about him too. We were between two guys, and Charles was like, "What do you think about Adam Thielen?" And I was like, "He's pretty good." So really, Charles and I, and then in our other league, the one with us, I was like, "Man, I really should get Thielen." And literally, right as I was thinking that, I see waiver wire. Charles has picked him up. I was like, "You've got to be joking me."
That was a good pickup. For sure.
Well, yeah, I drafted him, dropped him, but picked him right back up. Anyways, back to the topic. This is the first time I'm going to say that, Sam, you're completely wrong. I don't know how you can pick the the Panthers as underachievers with who they have on their team. And Bryce Young, you're giving him way too much hate. He's a rookie, and he, like you said, he just does not have a great team. Think about someone like Peyton Manning. terrible rookie year, not a good team. I think Bryce Young will be okay. I still like, and he showed some things in the game. But this is all about the Lions. The Lions are overachievers for sure. The game was a little bit more it was the score doesn't result how close it actually was because the Panthers got like a pretty much a garbage time touchdown. It was what 35 to it was like 35 to 10, I think, at one point or something like that.
Yeah.
This is the Lions showing that they're winning the North this year. They're putting their stamp on it. This is Lions overachieving. They took care of business, got off to a huge lead, never let go. Detroit, baby. They're winning the North. No doubt.
There's definitely not a little bit of bias in that pick, judging the hooker jersey you have in the background.
Well, TBH Sam, I'm also picking the Lions as overachievers just because you really can't fault the Panthers for being underachievers because like they were supposed to like actually like not win this game anyways, and they didn't. But the scoreline, I believe, was what 35-17, I believe is what it was, or 35-24, something like that.
The score was 42-24.
42-24, yeah. So, I mean, anytime you're putting up north of 30 on an NFL team, I don't care if they're the worst team in the league, that's pretty good because these are grown men playing, all that kind of stuff. To me, it's been the Lions. They're 4-1 now, I believe. They are two games up on the North already. Like, I'd say they're overachieving for sure. And I know people were really skeptical of them at the very, very beginning of the year. We were not. We all chose them to win the NFC North, I believe. But they're the real deal. Overachieving, playing well. Didn't have Jahmyr Gibbs, didn't have Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you still put up.
Good point. That's a good point. All right, we're going to jump now to the Titans versus the Colts. I'll give a score update too, just so you guys can have an idea when you talk about it. The Colts won 23-16. Matt, go ahead.
The Colts beat the Titans, right? Yeah.
Yep, 23-16.
I'm going to say overachieving is the Colts. Are the Colts really? I think what are they 3-2 now or 4-1?
3-2.
They're 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think they're overachieving because they were getting smacked last year against like the Titans and other teams, but they look like a good football team. Granted, do I wish Anthony Richardson would actually do something other than get hurt every game? Yes, I would. However, the resiliency that the Colts have to be down, have Gardner Minshew as the backup, pull it together and beat a division rival, to me, I feel is overachieving. They're 3-2. I believe they're in first place with the Jags, I believe is what it is, I think. And so to me, that's overachieving. You beat a division rival that you probably you didn't think that you were maybe in that same realm, but you did. So to me, it's the Colts as overachieving.
I'm going to go with the Colts as well as overachieving in this game because they lost Anthony Richardson again and were able to bounce back and still pull out a win. The Titans have been really up and down this year. They lose and then they smack the Bengals and then they also beat the Chargers. So the Titans are I don't know, they're confusing, but I'm gonna go with the Colts. Like I said, big division game. They're playing better than I think people thought, and just because Richardson went out again and they were able to rally and get a win, because I know even though Tennessee's a little off, I would say they're always still a tough opponent. Like as a Ravens fan, I'm worried about them this week, honestly. So I'm gonna go Colts as the overachievers.
And they still have the king. So
yeah, but that kind of goes along with my point. The king does not play like the king. I would argue that he's really only had one really good game this season, but his age is getting to him. And that's part of my pick. I mean, the Colts did great. They balled out with Richardson not playing the best and getting injured, but you can't disagree that the Titans have been a disappointment. Sure, they have gotten those two big wins, but this is also a really big game with it both being a divisional game as well too, with one of your biggest rivals. But the Titans have looked pretty bad this season. I mean, they have a lot of really good playmakers on the team. I think Mike Vrabel needs to make a good decision and finally move on from Tannehill. He is not the QB in Nashville. He is he's a backup at best, but there's too many good playmakers on the team to not beat a kind of a scrappy Colts team. I mean, you have a barely rookie quarterback that seems to get injured every game, which is fine. But I mean, they need to utilize Derrick Henry a little bit more. Sure, age is getting to him, but you also have Derrick Hopkins. You also have Hopkins, Traylon Burks. You have playmakers all around the field. That should be a game you should win. So,
You mean the Ryan Tannehill you said was a top 20 quarterback?
he's a top 21 after this game.
Oh, wow.
He's a top 21.
After he says at best he's a backup. So you're saying that there's 10 quarterbacks in the league right now that should be backups.
I think I can make a list if you give me like a few minutes to think about it and research.
No, we already did this last time. It didn't go well.
Yeah, it's already been done last time, so don't give me time. But I still think he's at least top 23. I'll lock it in, top 23. Put
All
9
right,
Zach Wilsons behind him. It'll be good.
All right, next game. Dolphins, Giants, which was 31-16 Miami. I am going to go with the Giants as underachievers because while I think the Dolphins, I mean, obviously, if it wasn't for a pick six that was a dumb decision by Tua that in the red zone, this would have been even a bigger blowout. But the Dolphins have, as well, like I said, their offensive firepower has been crazy good. So I'm not, giving up 31. I don't think is that bad, honestly. But their defense has been suspect at times, and the Giants barely got anything on them on offense. And that's been the case this whole year. I knew when they paid Daniel Jones, that was a huge mistake. I know last year was a nice year, but something's wrong in New York. I know Saquon's out, and that really takes away a lot. But the Giants, I thought they should have put up more against the Dolphins. Honestly, they didn't score a single offensive touchdown. And I know Miami's defense is definitely susceptible to points. So I don't know. The Giants, they scare me. So they're my underachiever for sure.
Which makes sense, yeah. I totally agree with you on that. The Giants have been a big disappointment this season, but I would also like to give a little bit of credit to the Dolphins. I know most games this year they've already balled out, kind of the exact opposite of the last situation with the Titans. I'm going to give them credit. Tua didn't have a great game, but I'm going to totally give all the credit to Devon Achane. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. It's really sad to see that he got injured more later towards the end of the game, and he might be out for a few weeks as well with Jay Jetta's two really big injuries, but he absolutely balled out this week. He absolutely balled out last week too. He's an amazing rookie running back, and he created the perfect piece for the Dolphins' explosive offense. I mean, they're pretty far and away the best offense in the league, I think. And it really does suck to see that we might not see him for a few more weeks after this week. But no, they absolutely balled out. Tua didn't have a great game, but all their playmakers did really well around them. It's not really surprising to see at this point with it being week 5, but I'll give him credit where credit is due. I don't want to just highlight all the underachievers every week, so I have to go the other way.
I'm going to go with the Giants as underachievers just because their offense was supposedly going to be better and it's looked terrible. So, yep.
Basically, he's just what I said pretty much, but he's just not going to repeat it. All right. I know this one's going to be an exciting one, and Sam will lead us off. Saints 34, Patriots 0.
Yeah.
Can I just go first real quick?
Yeah, you can go ahead,
Sure.
Matt.
All right. Pats are underachievers, especially Mac Jones. We're terrible. We suck. I hope we get a first. I hope we get like the first pick, draft Caleb Williams, and we hit the reset button and just, say, you know what? We've been bad for freaking, 5 years. Hit the reset button. Boom, Dynasty 21.
Fire Bill. What?
Whoa.
No, I think
I don't
keep
know
him
about that.
300 wins or whatever, past Shula, then fire him.
I don't know, man. I don't think he's gonna get
little
there at this
rude.
rate. It might take another 10 years.
No, with Mac Jones, definitely. I mean, that would be really, really good if the Patriots somehow get Caleb Williams. That would be awesome for you guys.
We're real close. We're only 1 win away.
That's true. There's a lot of games to play this season still, so it might happen.
Who do you got, Sam, though, as the cheaper this game?
Oh, that's pretty obvious. I mean, credit to the Saints. They did amazing. Derek Carr balled out, but how can you not say the Patriots are underachievers? They've scored. They've been outscored by like 100 points between the last 2 games.
5 games.
Derek Carr didn't really do that much. Just saying, but
I mean,
you guys are wrong. The Saints definitely overachieved this game because the AFC East winners, predicted winners, Patriots, are no slouch. Real, in all honesty, can I get another pick?
No.
You guys, you gave me hope week 1 against the Eagles. Like, you played pretty well, and I thought you guys might contend. And then I don't know what you've done the last 2 weeks, Matt. I guess you don't like me because you curse them because you don't want me to be right. So I'm really upset I picked them to win the AFC East. Yeah, they're easily underachievers. The Saints don't really scare anyone. They're solid, but you can't lose 34-0 like that. Like, it's and then last week, as you know, I can't remember the score. It was bad, just as bad. Yeah,
it was like 3-38.
I thought it was
So bad.
or 31-3. It was bad. So
whoever is playing the Patriots with Mac Jones, I'm sure their defense will be a top waiver wire in fantasy every week if how they're looking.
Yeah.
They're easily over or underachievers. It's pathetic, honestly. I'm sorry, Matt.
Yeah.
All right.
Someone on that Patriots offensive line absolutely cooked for 3 combined points in the last 2 weeks. That's pretty good.
Oh
I
man,
don't know how you
so
can beat
good.
that. So
I mean, just put us on a freaking Traeger grill, bro, when you're getting roasted.
And then the next game, we can just honestly skip this one. Steelers 17, Ravens 10. No need to talk about. Let's go to the next one. All right, Eagles, No one's gonna stop me.
I mean,
no, I'm stopping you.
It's kind of a Ravens underachievers, even though they won underachievers.
No, Ravens lost.
Oh yeah, they did lose. Yeah, so
Yeah.
They did lose. Yeah,
for sure underachievers because of all the drop passes. It was not on Lamar. It was on the team for dropping passes. Otherwise, they win. Ravens underachievers. You go, Sam.
Oh no, you absolutely have to blame Lamar for that. If he would have willed the ball a little bit more, he would have made those catches. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, that was pretty obvious because if you watch the highlights, I mean, Lamar threw some really, really nice passes and just those drops just killed momentum. But real quick, I still Lamar threw the game away though. That was a terrible call on 3rd and goal. You know the situation. Just run the ball. You get Lamar. Lamar's been great in the red zone as a runner. I don't know why. Maybe they call something for him to run. You don't even probably risk, a turnover because if you kick a field goal, they have to score a touchdown. Granted, they did, but it would have been more of a mental hurdle. Yet you throw a jump ball 1-on-1. I don't understand the call. It was terrible, and then Lamar gets strip sacked on their next drive. So he did fall apart in the end. Ravens underachievers. I stopped watching after the interception because I told Matt that because I wasn't even like nervous. I was just like done because it was so sloppy leading up to that. And I already knew we were going to probably lose. So that's why I didn't even watch the rest of the game. Yeah. Sorry, Sam, you can go though, but I'm not happy at all. If we win this game, we're 3-0 in the division. We have complete control. Now it's way more up in the air.
Yeah.
I'm that loss really, really sucked. I'm not happy at all.
At least it makes it more exciting as a casual AFC North fan to watch because it's basically a mid-off at this point. None of the AFC North teams look spectacular, so everything is kind of up in the air at this point still.
We were shutting the Steelers down too, so like if we kick the field goal, they got to go score on us, to take the lead.
Yeah.
And like I said, I know they did, but that was after a pick, so they had momentum. If you kick the field goal, I think it's a different story. But the one thing about the Ravens, at least we have a good defense, where we have a really nice defense because we really have done well against every team pretty much we've played. So at least I could say that, but our offense still concerns me. We paid all this money, all this capital for receivers. I know Zay's been great, so him dropping a couple I can excuse, but Bateman drops a wide open touchdown. Aguilar drops a wide open streak, probably touchdown. It's
Dave Flowers made some pretty bad catches too.
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He gets a pass because he's been pretty good before that, but still, he should have caught those on. It sucks.
Oh, definitely.
I could talk about this for like 10 minutes and ramble
Oh.
on about the Ravens.
All I
Because
have to say is, for practice, those receivers are on the jugs machines. You know that.
trade for Devontae Adams, honestly. Anyways, like at least I know we have Lamar, so I know we have a chance in any game we're in because we have number 8. So yeah, but
Yeah,
no more. We're not talking about that.
I feel
game
sorry
anymore.
for H double this week. I would be extremely frustrated too. The Chiefs have had a couple games like that this season, but yeah, I'm not gonna say anymore. Let's just move on. Keep the
Eagles
pain
Rams.
away.
Eagles Rams.
Eagles Rams. Okay.
23-14 Eagles. Let's go with Sam. Who do you have?
Me.
Yeah.
Well, Rams underachievers.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that the Eagles are overachievers. They're playing exactly like how they were last season, and they start out with I believe 8 straight wins to start the season, and then they fell to the Commanders, which is funny. But no, part of the reason why I'm giving the Rams the underachiever spot too is because kudos to them, they finally got Cooper Kupp back, and credit to Matthew Stafford too. He made a lot of really good passing plays. To Puka Nacua too, he's been stellar, but it just wasn't really enough. Against their home crowd as well. It's really disappointing to be an LA fan, I think, right now. I would expect a lot more from their team, especially with still one of the GOAT defensive players in Aaron Donald. I think they should be able to shut down Jalen Hurts a little bit more. Granted, they did get one stop with Jalen Hurts tush push, but they were 1 for 2, I believe. They allowed one in the end zone. They got one in the 4th down, but it still wasn't enough. I mean, I'm not a Rams fan or anything, but I definitely would like to see them play a little bit more to expectations, especially now you can't really make excuses now that they have Kupp back. So give them the underachiever.
I was gonna say Eagles because they use the brotherly shove too much, but nah. Hey, whatever helps you get a win, right?
Yep.
I'm also gonna go Rams, and I'm gonna do it a little different from what you were saying. I'm gonna go Rams because it looked like early on they were rolling. First 2, I believe it was 2 of their first 3 drives, touchdowns. They have a 14-10 lead, and then after that they just fell apart pretty much, and they were not able to get anything going after that. And after such a good start at home, I'm surprised they fizzled out like they did. I feel like that's kind of been their problem. I remember when they played the Niners week 2, they had like a lead or it was like real close or tied, and then after halftime they just fizzled out. So they really aren't doing a good job closing games out, because I think that's definitely a game they could have won for sure, especially with cutback. So I'm going to go Rams as underachievers. Yeah.
I mean, you guys both took the words out of my mouth, so I'm also going to go Rams underachievers for those same reasons.
Eagles were close, but not quite.
Yeah.
All right, Bengals Cardinals 34-20 Bengals.
Bengals overachievers.
Why?
Because they actually put up freaking points.
Yeah, against the Cardinals.
That's true, Matt.
They beat the Cowboys, who just I think, didn't they lose though? Yeah, that's the 49ers.
Oh, we'll get to that game. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll get to, but no. I mean, the Cardinals almost beat. It wasn't the Eagles. I mean, they've been in close games and stuff, right? And people were thinking, oh man, like this could be a tough test. And you know what? I just want to give a shout out to my guy. I have him in my dynasty league. Have him in my regular league. Jamar Chase only speaks facts. He said he's always open. Well, guess what? Against the Cardinals, he was. He was always open. 15 receptions, 193, 3 touchdowns. I don't think I have any more to say.
Okay. I'm actually gonna go Cardinals as underachievers.
Oh, interesting.
I understand the Bengals as overachievers, and obviously I think it's great for them and Joe Burrow to finally get in somewhat of a rhythm. But I honestly think the Cardinals, with how they had been playing, being the Cowboys, they played the Niners actually decently tough, I would say, their last game. So I thought coming in, at home, that they would have a chance to knock the Bengals off when the Bengals have been, I would say, kind of falling off the cliff, and they got popped a little bit. Maybe like you just made it simple, throw it to Jamar Chase and we win. But I'm gonna go Cardinals as underachievers because I really expected a little more from them. And Josh Dobbs finally kind of didn't look good because he had looked pretty good before that. So I'm gonna go Cardinals as unders just because I thought the Bengals were, were definitely a winnable game.
Definitely credit to Dobbs. I mean, he played really good in the first half of the game, I believe, and then in the latter half of the game, he threw those 2 pretty bad picks. But I would have to agree with Matt. I mean, you can't really sneeze at Joe Burrow finally playing like Joe Burrow 5 weeks in. And I mean, he did exactly what the game plan needed to be. Just throw it to Jamar Chase. He'll be open somewhere down the field. I mean, Joe Mixon, he was pretty solid too. Granted, 25 carries for 81 yards is not the greatest, but I mean, it was more than enough to get the job done. It was against a Cardinals team, which is not really much to say, bragging rights wise, but I mean, still credit to them. They're playing a little bit more like they are projected to play, and it is a long time coming, I think.
All right. I might just be hating on the AFC North rival, but no, they did really look good. They looked good, and I think that's got to be good. Feel good for them to perform like that, no matter who it's against. All right, Jets Broncos, 31-21 Jets. I will go. No, I'm gonna go. We're gonna pretend like Matt didn't say that.
Yeah,
so
we'll erase that.
I am definitely going to go with the. I'm gonna go with the Broncos. I'm gonna go with the Broncos as underachievers because I honestly think if it wasn't for that strip sack that they probably what was this? Let me look at the exact score when that happened. They would have taken the lead with a touchdown, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that if that doesn't happen, then they probably it was 24-21. Yeah. So they would have, or at least tied it. I mean, that's just the Broncos, I guess. Obviously, they beat the Bears in a comeback last week, and it looked like they might against the Jets because Zach Wilson kind of gifted them when the Jets had a lead in the red zone. He threw a pick. It was a little unlucky, though. I watched the replay of that, but still, in kind of classic Zach Wilson form, he threw a pick when they're up 3 in the red zone, which gives the Broncos a chance. Anyways, I'm going to go, Broncos, because it's just been underachievement of a season because Sean Payton comes in and everyone has high expectations. And I really think they have a better roster than their record shows, like on paper. But for some reason, it just isn't clicking. And like Russ isn't even playing that bad. He's playing pretty decent. So it's just confusing. But yeah, when you lose to Zach Wilson, as Sam would say, I think that's an underachievement.
The Zach Wilson.
I mean, really, just the Jets running backs, pretty much every running back is just pounding the Broncos this year, and Breece Hall blew up and was good for him. That's actually where he got hurt last year in Denver, so it probably felt good to have a good game. But yeah, Broncos under.
For sure. Yeah, no, I agree with Charles totally. I just think it's laughable at this point with the Chiefs being one of their rivals in the Broncos. I mean, credit to Russell Wilson. He did have a decent game, 2 touchdowns, but they lost to the freaking Jets. And Sean Payton, he was ratting on Nathaniel Hackett all offseason on being a bad head coach, and he ended up losing to him with an even worse quarterback and a backup quarterback. So good job, Sean Payton. Let's see how you do next week. So bad.
Overachiever. Jets. I'm in the kiddie pool. It's getting nice and warm. I mean, granted, you don't want it to be warm, but it is because sometimes you're like, oh crap, there are kids in the kiddie pool. However, Zach Wilson, outside of the pick, managed the game very well. Brees Hall did Brees Hall things. Jets got a dub.
Yeah.
And they went on the road. I believe they went on the road and beat the Broncos. So, overachieving in my book because everyone thought Zach Wilson was a trash can, which
I thought people were thinking he would do better, honestly, after the Chiefs performance going against Denver. I mean, he did enough to win, obviously, but
Yeah.
I think people expected more. Anyways, there's no heat on them because they won. So, yeah.
I'm going to say the
I
Jets
agree.
because, I just want to be that guy. So we can keep moving on.
Hey, you can be that guy. That's nothing wrong with that.
Let the Zach Wilson candle live a little bit.
I'm not in the kiddie pool still because I didn't see enough in the performance, but I am still watching it, Matt. I'll see if I join you, but I'm not in it.
You're the
So-
lifeguard for the kiddie pool? Okay.
Yeah, I'm the lifeguard. You could say that.
Yeah, if Charles is the lifeguard, then you can think of me as like one of the teenage dads sitting in the sideline just watching it all happen.
Are you a teenager?
I thought you were gonna say like maybe you're just the guy just playing another sport. You're not even at the pool. You're somewhere else in the park because you just don't
That
care.
too. I don't
Yeah.
know.
You're not interested in what's going on at the pool.
Yeah, I'm watching. Think of it this way: I'm watching my little kid in the kiddie pool. His name is Tyler Conklin. He's not bad, but I'm watching the Chiefs ball out on NFL Plus on my phone as it's happening. I'll just say that.
Oh my! All right, Chiefs. Speaking of, I guess you knew
What a
we're going to
transition! Yeah,
Chiefs Vikings. The Chiefs won 27-20.
Ooh,
Let's
Can I go?
no. Let's let Sam go. All right, fine. You know what, Matt? You can go.
yeah. Go ahead, Matt. Go.
You have
I
a
wanna-
punish. You have a punishment you have to do. So
I know. I'm going to say the Chiefs were the underachievers.
I knew it. I knew it.
Hey, man, a win's a win.
The reason why, it's not because I'm not a Chiefs fan. It is not because of that. It is because the Chiefs, I think what was 27-20. The Vikings could have tied out on their last drive. However, the Vikings did not have Justin Jefferson for basically like more than half the game, like literally more than half the game. And the Chiefs still were like just like effing around with the Vikings, or like, I don't know, like maybe we'll win, maybe we won't. I don't know. Like we'll keep them in it, I mean, the Vikings are 1-4 right now, which obviously I think they're better than their record. I don't think they're a 1-4 team. I think they're better. But like, you have Justin Jefferson go down, and you still like, it literally goes down to like the last drive of the game where, oh man, maybe they might tie it. I don't know. It's like, dude, come on. Like, if the Bills played today, they beat the Chiefs. If Miami plays the Chiefs, they beat the Chiefs. Like, an actual offense, an actual team that will actually put up points beats them, because the Chiefs just want to like, maybe they just want to keep things interesting and just be like, you know what, we'll just play with our food and we know we're going to win. But like, I expect more, especially when one of their best players goes out. So to me, it was
Well, I mean, it's definitely conservative play calling by Andy Reid. They didn't ball out like they usually do in the Chiefs. They can play a lot better for sure.
he
But
said play calling.
They
Bro,
they did
just
play conservative. They did play conservative play calling. The whole reason what they got that fourth down stop, and there was like 6 minutes on the game clock still left against when the Vikings had the ball, and that was a drive that they could have tied the game, but they didn't because we have a decent offset. We have a decent defense this year, so we got the stop. Not only that, Mahomes, this is still go contention. This is not how he usually plays. He played like a true game manager this week. He didn't just pull a Zach Wilson and throw a pick willy-nilly. He played conservative, small ball. He didn't make any like really bright passes. Sure, he made like a 50-yard completion to Justin Watson earlier in the game, which was amazing. But credit to him. He played amazingly in the last few minutes of the game. I know his stat line doesn't say he absolutely balled out. I wouldn't say any better offenses would just blow them out of the water, maybe this week, but they played a lot better than what the game score turned out to be.
I mean, to me, it's kind of underperformed. You barely beat the Jets, and then on a just one a just terrible pick, but also there's other things that should have been called on game, and then you barely beat the Vikings, so you beat a 1-4 team, and then a team that you say sucks, and the Jets with Zach Wilson. So not a lot of
Yeah,
for me, I would say
I can't defend
they're 4-1. I think a little bit of a fraud 4-1, TBH.
I can't defend the game against the Jets. That was pretty sloppy. But I mean, the Chiefs, it definitely did not feel like the game score. They only won by 7 points. They played a really good game, I thought. Sure, they're 1-4 teams, but that doesn't really matter. What matters the most is they win on the standards.
Hey, a win is a win.
Standings, I mean. Yeah, exactly. Win is a win. So we'll keep it rolling.
I do agree. It was a win, and they're going to be fine. But for me, just a little bit underachieving just because I expect a little bit more from the Chiefs. And maybe that's because, I think that's how it was with the Patriots when we were a dynasty.
Mhm.
You expect a lot more, especially against some of those teams. So,
Yeah, I understand that. What say you, Charles?
Wait, so what's your achiever then, Sam, exactly?
Oh,
The
Chiefs overachievers.
Okay, Chiefs is over.
Not biased or anything, but
I think Matt is wrong in this situation.
oh no.
I'm gonna go Chiefs is overachievers too.
Oh, let's hear your argument then. Let's hear it.
Because I think you got to give, it's a team game. It's not just offense, defense. I think the Chiefs have a very good defense. Yes, I know it was a one possession game in the end.
But that's my whole point, though, is you don't have just, and so it makes it so much easier.
Well, he got hurt. He got hurt in the fourth quarter. I thought. I didn't think it was halfway through.
No, I'm pretty sure he left the game in the fourth quarter.
It was on. They were in the red zone. I just remember that, and I think it might have been. I don't know. Either way, I didn't think it was as early as you said. Besides the point, opening play, Vikings have a nice play, and guess what? The Chiefs pop it out, fumble, and they go up 7-0. When it looks like the Vikings might drive down and score. And I think that was really big coming out of halftime. 2 straight touchdowns, and then obviously it was game manager from then. But I know Mahomes still has Kelsey, but the receivers still just aren't that good. And so I was impressed with how they played. I thought it was a really well-rounded game. And like Sam said, game manager-ish, but it was what they kind of need to do in the situation. So I actually thought the Chiefs played really well personally in that game. So I'm going to go Chiefs. I agree with Sam. I think it felt more than 7, the difference. So I'm sorry, Matt. I want to agree with you, but I can't.
Hey, that's okay. This is all opinion, so it's okay.
Yeah, I can't agree with you. All right.
I absolutely watched that game on my phone as it was happening. And
Hey.
yeah, I was really confident throughout the whole game. I mean, not even really knowing that Jay Jettas got hurt in the game, but I was pretty confident that the Chiefs are gonna pull that one out.
By the way, I'm not a Chiefs fan, but
Disclaimer.
I'm fair. I have to be fair. Okay. 49ers Cowboys. Sunday Night Football, 42-10, 49ers. Let's go Sam first.
Me first.
Yes.
Well, that's not even a debate, I don't think. We can all joke at this point. Dak Prescott legitimately looks like one of the worst QBs in the league.
Worse than
I would say so. He's on a pretty good streak right now. He's on a pretty good
bro.
Right
I think if Zach Wilson plays against the Niners, he probably doesn't do that good either. But
definitely not.
Anyways, keep going.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the Cowboys lost the game before the game started. Definitely credit to the 49ers. They look like the best team in the league right now. If I can praise them that high, they look fantastic. But I mean, I want to call the Cowboys as underachievers because their guy under center, Dak Prescott, he threw not 1, not 2, but 3 picks. Three awful picks in the game. He had one. I would say he had one good throw. I'll give him that. But the whole team played terribly.
Well, the best team in the league, according to you, I think that deserves to be overachieving because that's some high praise. And I think you just looked over what your answer should have been because I definitely think the Niners overachieved. I think it's very easy, though, to say Cowboys underachieved. But, I mean, to come into this game and, there's still questions about Brock Purdy. And it's like, well, now he's going to play the Cowboys. So, you're not sure. And then he just absolutely destroys them with some really, really impressive throws, by the way. I would like to say that I think really proved a lot of people wrong. Still not Charlie, but anyways, yeah, 49ers for sure were overachievers. I mean, to take it to the Cowboys like that, who the Cowboys just didn't look ready to match their play. The Niners right now, I mean, if they could play like this every week, they're easily the best team in the league. I don't know if they probably had extra motivation because it's the Cowboys. So I hope they kind of keep that. And I mean, honestly, every game this year, pretty much they've looked like they've been, the best team. So Niners overachieved for sure. All levels, defense, offense, special teams. They look, yeah. And I think that they're gonna be I think they're gonna win the most games in the league this year, honestly. So
100%.
they're just rolling on all cylinders. And you can see it too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, like some of those throws that Brock Purdy made, they were
beautiful.
Really good. They're just
Yeah.
dicing it, just going anywhere they want, everywhere they want. The trick play, touchdown. Yeah, it's just, and the running game's obviously going to always be there. Yeah, it's great.
Argue all you want. I mean, I definitely made my decision more towards just because it's funny to trash on the Cowboys week after week. It's fun. But...
Hey, I'm super happy they lost like they did. It feels great. And then
Micah
Micah gets all defensive about the shirt and stuff.
Yeah, George Kittle balled out
for
3 touchdowns in the game, and he repped the absolute toughest shirt at the end of the game to screw them. But no, the 49ers are playing almost perfect football right now. Brock Purdy is absolutely graced with like the best weapons almost, I think, because they really do carve up any defense so far. I mean, they've had okay matchups, but I mean, give credit where credit is due. They're undefeated for a reason.
I guess I think Matt said Niners overachievers. I don't think he actually said, but I knew in his eyes that's what he was going to say. So
yeah, pretty much.
Any quick thoughts? I mean, your BYU guy really performed well.
Fred Warner.
Yeah.
No.
BYU guys ball out in NFL. They don't ball out in college, but in the NFL they just had to show up. So it's
everyone except Zach Wilson at least. But
Ben Boyd, Takitaki, Warner, Puka Nacua. So yeah, it's okay.
But yeah, well, I said everyone besides him, so I'm still giving him credit. But
hey, sounds good to me.
All right, last game. We made it through the gauntlet. Raiders Packers Monday Night Football. Raiders won 17-13. It was Matt's demise because that's why after this we're gonna tell him what his punishment is because he picked the Packers.
Yes.
I will lead us off.
Oh.
I'm going with the Packers as underachievers because Jordan Love threw not 1, not 2, but 3 interceptions. And the Raiders are not that good, and we all know that. Jimmy G's not that good. Sorry, Matt. We all know that. And you can't lose that. You can't lose this game. You just can't. And Jordan Love, I don't know what he was thinking, what he was doing. It just wasn't good. Yeah, I'm going Packers as underachievers for sure. I mean, losing this game is going to hurt down the line. Yeah. Packers. That's all I got to say.
Agree with Charles 100%. The Raiders are not them. I mean, they won. Win is a win, But yeah, just like Charles said, none of Jordan Love's 3 picks, they were even contested. They were all terrible throws.
Yeah, one of them was so bad, literally right to him. Like literally right to him.
Yeah. Yeah, like a dot to the DB.
Like a Zach Wilson throw?
Yes. Oh, now we're getting a little too happy.
Well, how about Zach Wilson last year? Not this year. Zach Wilson last year. Sorry, Zach Wilson,
he can get a little bit more of the hate last year because he was a starter for most of the games last year. He did get benched, but that's besides the point.
Well, Matt has to go.
I mean, I agree with both of you guys. Packers were underachieving. I mean, they should have won that game. They had so many to win that game, and just decided not to. So, yep, Packers are underachievers, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, we made it. Week 5 of Over and Underachievers Team Edition.
Mm.
Special twist. Now,
close the book on that one.
Now, to wrap this up, a little fun segment for 2/3 of the podcast, I would say. 1/3 of the pie is probably not going to be very happy. Don't worry, this doesn't have to do with pie. I don't know if you thought I was going to do a play on words there, but I'm not. So, as Sam mentioned in the intro, he and this has been going on for a few weeks. His Zach Wilson card he got, is it jersey or signed? I can't remember, honestly.
It's jersey, actually.
Jersey?
Yeah, okay. I can show it to the camera again if you want it.
So Sam has this. Yeah, if you want to show it, you can. Sam has this card, and we were like, well, he's going to give it to Matt, right? Because Matt obviously will take it. But we didn't want to just, we were feeling a little, it's Halloween season. It's spooky. So we were thinking, look at that. Instead of giving it to Matt for free, he would have to earn it for free. Obviously, with the picks, last week they tied. NFL picks, they tied. This week, Sam won 3-1 because they had 4 different. Mm-hmm. So Matt lost, and he has to earn this card. It is not free. Sam, would you like to explain what you and I have come up with for Matt?
Yes, I would love to. That game last night with the Raiders and the Packers, I mean, I didn't really have a side on.
Actually, real quick,
Charles?
I was gonna say the games they got differently. And then you go. Sorry, Sam. Yeah. Sam picked the Raiders, Matt picked the Packers. Sam picked the Saints, Matt picked the Pats. Yep. Sam picked the Chiefs, Matt picked the Vikings. And then Matt did pick the Jets, and Sam picked the Broncos. So, Matt, you did get one right.
Credit.
Those were the games that they were different on. All right, Sam, go on.
Well, yeah, no, the Raiders-Packers game was the deciding game, and I was very relieved to see that it worked out in our favor a little bit, for Charles and I at least. Not so much for Matt, but that's okay. He's still going to walk away with a pristine Zach Wilson card. I'm happy for him. I'm probably going to get that shipped out probably tomorrow to him. So he's got a little silver lining to this, but not without a little test first. And Charles and I thought long and hard about this test. And our first thought immediately went to the great old-fashioned American game, Bean Boozled. But we didn't want to make it just so easy on you. What Charles and I ended up deciding on, because we want to make Matt work a little bit. We just don't want to get him all the good beans, Gotta sprinkle a little bad ones in there. Matt's going to pick every week 6 matchup for NFL game, and every matchup that he gets incorrectly, he's going to eat 3 beans. I don't think we decided on this, but I think Charles and I want to see you do it on camera.
Oh, 100% on camera.
Wait, what do you 3 beans?
Okay. Do you know what Bean Boozled is?
No.
Okay, well, you're about to be in for a treat. So it's by the whatever company that is, that main jelly bean company. Jelly Belly. So Bean Boozled is.
Oh, I thought you knew, Matt.
You pick a bean, and it can either be good or bad. So you're gonna have to go buy that to do it, and then, as Sam said, you're making every pick this week because obviously you need practice. And since Sam got 3 correct on you, every wrong game is 3 beans that you will have to eat. Mm. So,
bro, I hate jelly beans too.
So if you get 5 games wrong, for example, that's 15 beans you have to eat.
Oh, goodness.
If you get no games wrong, you could just give those beans away to someone, I guess.
Give them away. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to make picks this week. Good luck.
These need to be good picks too, man. What are some of the really bad beans that they have, Charles?
I know. I can look at the lineup real quick for you.
They have toothpaste. I know that. They've got some nasty ones.
Let's look up the flavors right now.
That's terrible.
Yeah, this will be fun. They have juicy pear or booger, strawberry banana smoothie or dead fish, Very blue or toothpaste, birthday cake or dirty dishwater,
Oh no.
peach or barf, tutti frutti or stinky socks, pomegranate or old bandage,
Oh my gosh.
toasted marshmallow or stink bug, cappuccino or liver and onions, butter popcorn or rotten egg. I'm not
Well,
gonna lie, I did this with Kevin in high school, and they are terrible. They
Well,
are
I
awful.
hats. I can tell you that much.
What'd you say?
I'm
You're
not
not-
picking hats. No.
Yeah, like I said, I had these in high school, and they are awful. I don't know if you ever had them, Sam, but they truly suck. They're oh my god, it's terrible.
Mhm.
So yeah,
I've
good
had
luck,
it.
Matt.
Yep. It's gonna be really fun to watch.
Oh,
It's
I
gonna be really
can't
fun to
wait.
watch
As
that.
long as he gets even one game wrong, so he has to get three.
That's 3
just
beans?
something.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've got a chance for like a barf bean then. That'll be good stuff.
Yeah, Matt, there's your punishment.
Thanks.
Hey,
welcome.
hey, if you think about it though, at the end of the day, you're gonna get that Zach Wilson card, so you still have something to fight for. Like when you're guzzling down those beans, you got something to think about at least. So
Okay. I will have water with me though because I literally hate jelly bean. Like I
Oh
can't.
yeah, you can have you can have water,
that's
but
fair.
Okay.
yeah, you gotta.
Nothing crazy like milk or apple juice to drown out the flavor.
Go back to our food challenges when Matt and I did a couple of those on
Oh my
no
God.
notes. I remember one was I had to drink milk, and then there was one where Matt ate a
Cake one was
cake.
worse, bro.
I had to
Yeah,
do hot sauce, so it's Matt's turn again for
yeah.
food.
That was a big throwback.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like a good note to end on for me. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you
All
want to
right.
hit us? Do you want to hit us with the outro, Matt?
Oh, he is
Yeah.
with the intro. He can double up
Okay.
for us.
That's true.
double duty.
Yeah. Okay.
It won't be the next episode, but the following one. It looks like I'll be probably eating some beans. Hopefully it's 0. It will probably be more than that. So, is it worth the Zach Wilson card? I don't know. He might only be worth like 3 beans. I don't even know anymore. But happy that Sam and Charles decided to do this. Also, hopefully you guys liked our new under and overachiever segment. A little different than last time. If we clowned on your team, we're sorry, but they probably sucked. I mean, we clowned on my team, and they are complete trash. So,
And mine,
oh,
honestly.
Yeah.
just know we appreciate you guys. We can't wait for you guys to listen to this episode as well as the next ones and the ones after that. And this is H Double, Sam Cookie, and MattyB signing off. Peace.
Peace, everybody.